A few moments, you can come up and pet the turkey if you want to.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jenna.
And I'm Bob.
And we're finally back after a long hiatus.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. We just kept saying, oh, well, I think we'll do it on this day, and then we got too busy, and then we just realized it's been weeks.
Yeah, it has. So we're sorry about that.
Yeah, but our semester went really long this year. We just finished on Friday.
Yep.
And now we have grading to do, but we're taking a little break.
And here we are on Christmas Eve, Giftmas Eve, ready to come at you with some vegan radio.
Yeah, so Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Bah Humbug, Happy Giftmas,
whatever you do.
Capitalist holiday, whatever.
Happy capitalist holiday. Happy holiday where you're supposed to buy a lot of stuff for people.
Yes.
Yes, preferably made in China under slave labor.
It wouldn't be Christmas without it.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't. Didn't we overhear a guy the other day yesterday we were in the hardware store? What did he say? He's like, it wasn't such a... He's like, he heard somewhere that it wasn't such a bad year for Walmart, and that was a good thing because it meant that no American jobs were actually harmed.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we've got a couple things. What the hell is that crackling noise?
I don't know. You're staticky, apparently.
I am. Weird. Anyway, we got a couple things to do for you in the show today. We're going to talk about a couple articles, talk about a couple emails, play a couple voicemails, and then call quits. Basically, we're going to be in and out, hopefully, in about an hour here.
Yeah, we're not going to make it a real long show, but we will be back next week.
We will be back next week, for sure, before the new year.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
Because after New Year, we're going away and doing shit like that, so we'll be right back before the new year. But got an article got a show this week to do for you. I'm having it's
brain
weird.
mouth issues.
when you don't do this for a couple weeks, you get kind of
rusty.
You get really rusty at it. So it's important that we continue to do it in the new year as part of our New Year's resolution.
There we go.
We should resolve to keep doing the show more regularly because it gets harder to get back into it once you haven't done it for a while.
This is true. It does.
But speaking of New Year stuff, we want to hear from you on the Ass Hats and Angels. We've only received like 2 nominations so far.
Yeah, come on, people.
Come on, get up off your butt and send us some shit, all right?
Yeah.
We want nominations for that. And also, at the beginning of the show, that was President Bush you heard.
Play it again.
I will play it again.
A few moments, you can come up and pet the turkey if you want to.
Come up and pet the
Turkey if you want to. Yeah.
As many Americans know, that's from Thanksgiving when they pardon one turkey, and then he goes and lives his life out at some pathetic petting zoo kind of thing.
Yep.
So sad, but
one turkey out of the millions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a double joke, right? We use this joke about the death penalty, which is no joke, to talk about how we're pardoning an animal who's going to be killed, which is also no joke.
Yeah.
Only in America. And other select countries. And other select repressive countries. Only in America and other select repressive regimes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was the president. Also, we want to do some thanks here.
Yeah, we need to thank Ian. He sent us a bunch of cool stuff.
He really did. And an Earthlings DVD that we're going to give away.
Yes.
On the next show.
Okay. Yeah, we need to figure out exactly what to do to give it away.
How to give it away.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Patrick because he sent me an MRE. And it is an MRE.
Yeah.
He sent me an MRE of Mexican corn. And if you don't know what that's all about, I forget how many shows ago that was.
I don't know.
Where I said I hated Mexican corn. After I said that, my mom was like, "Hey, I have a special treat for you last night." So she's like, "I made some Mexican corn." I think I annoyed my poor mother with that. But anyway, Mexican corn is really foul. And Patrick saw fit to send me an MRE of it. So after the nuclear attack happens, I'll have something to eat, and it'll be Mexican motherfucking corn.
That's good.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks everybody who sent us cards and stuff like that. It's always nice to hear from folks, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, we do. Thank you.
Enough crap. Let's cut to the chase here.
Okay.
Right.
You're staticky again.
I don't know.
It's usually the dogs that set off
We should
the
be
static.
grounded.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, we got a couple different articles people sent us that I think are worth talking about. The San Francisco cookie one.
That's it.
This one? Mm-hmm. This is from Chris. And those of you in the San Francisco Bay Area, you probably know about this already. But what they're doing is part of the Got Milk campaign. You know, everyone has to know this campaign. If you don't know it, man, they have it in Canada, they have it in the U.S. I don't know if they have it abroad or not. I have no idea. Do they have it?
Not.
Probably not, because it's
like... I always thought it was like the American Dairy Council.
Yeah, I think it's the American Dairy Council.
Yeah.
Have I seen it in Canada?
Yeah. Yes, we have. Because remember that thing when we were at the Toronto Vegetarian Food Fair?
Yeah.
They had a big, not bulletin board, but advertisement
for the Got Milk.
For the Got Milk campaign.
Yep.
And someone put a PETA sticker next to it saying Got Pus.
Got Pus?
So, yeah.
And it says... It says a bus shelter usually isn't the kind of place where people want to breathe deeply, but that may change in San Francisco next week. At a few of the shelters, it will be infused with the scent of fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. It's the brainchild of marketers for the California Milk Processing Board, who are hoping the captive crowds waiting for a bus will be enticed to go home and grab a glass of milk after they take a whiff of the artificial scent and are cued visually with Got Milk advertisements to be posted in the shelters. But Veronica Navarro, a street-smart 16-year-old high school student waiting in a bus shelter at 5th and Mission Street Wednesday, wasn't so sure the goal will be realized. It's going to smell like cookies and bums, she predicted.
Cookies and piss.
That's what I was thinking, cookies and piss, when I read this. I was like, it's definitely going to smell like... I mean, anyone who's ever been in a bus shelter, and I don't know, maybe it's just in Philly or the other cities I've lived in, but they almost always smell like piss.
Yeah.
Always. So I was like, yeah, it's going to smell like fucking cookies and piss. Great. And I don't know. I smell chocolate chip cookies and I don't think milk. So
I know. Even when I drank milk, I was never... I think cookies and tea.
Cookies and tea, yeah.
Or just cookies.
Or just, I actually like cookies with coffee.
Yeah.
Because I like the contrast between the sweet of the cookie and the more, not bitter, but the more bold taste of the coffee. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. So so the article goes on to talk about how, these kinds of olfactory marketing blitzes are not new, that, different kinds of retailers have been using them, and that San Francisco being so politically correct, there is, of course, a risk in using this. But it says here that the political correctness comes into play because there's a growing movement to limit artificial fragrances in public spaces as a nod to people with chemical sensitivities.
Oh, right. Interesting.
So that could be a problem. But I don't know, San Franciscoans, Bay Area freaks, let us know how this is going. And pretty funny. We also had another article about...
this one is about milk in schools. And we got an email from Brandon who says, last night I got around to hearing the latest podcast about cheese and was re-disgusted thinking about pus and antibiotics in dairy. This morning I ran across an article and pictures, link below, and which we'll get to in a minute, in the online version of my local Southwest Florida newspaper, the Fort Myers News Press. It's a shamelessly celebrity-fueled, big business-funded dairy pep rally that is making its way to public elementary schools. It's wrong on many levels. And he goes on to saying, making children scream, please give me milk, yogurt, and cheese. Promoting consumption of cheese and milk as healthier choices for preventing obesity. 9-year-old children being indoctrinated that dairy is a healthy choice instead of using candy. Dressing kids up as cows with cheese hats, playing loud music, and having celebrities promote unhealthy choices is the gospel truth to children who don't know any better is disgusting and wrong. If these kids saw footage of industrial dairy farms, would they still think dairy is exciting and fun? I know children of colleagues who refuse to eat meat and dairy because they can't stand the thought of hurting animals. Slick agribusiness PR campaigns are nothing new in ag-friendly Florida, but shamelessly target impressionable children like this is unconscionable. Dairy cows aren't the only ones being herded in Southwest Florida. Sick and mad, Brandon. So, let's see. This is the article. It says, Kids Learn Recipe for Health. Celebrity cook teaches students to make better food choices. One way to remind kids to eat milk, cheese, and yogurt every day is to bring in 2 gigantic blow-up cows and a celebrity chef to remind you. That's what Chef John Aston did Monday as he entertained and educated 500 Gateway Elementary School students about making healthier choices and preventing obesity in a pilot nutritional program launched in Lee County. Ashton, the resident chef for the nationally syndicated show The Daily Buzz and frequent guest on NBC's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, says he has a passion for teaching kids about healthy food. So... Now the physically fit, he says, Ashton, originally from Liverpool, England, was obese as a child. Now the physically fit chef teaches children how to make healthier choices. Eating more dairy is one of them. We're going to have so much fun in the kitchen. He had all the children scream, please give me milk, yogurt, and cheese. That's great.
That's what we need. We need. I
We
mean,
need
that's
that. Yeah.
well. You got to indoctrinate the kids early. I mean, as the original poster said, you know, it's about just getting it in their head early from early on. And this is an old style tactic. I mean, this stuff's been going on since the 1950s.
Oh yeah,
40s.
totally.
So it's no great surprise that they're trying to do this. I mean, you know, get it in kids' heads when they're 8 and 9 years old that milk is healthy, and they're going to think that for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and you can see it. I mean, we get a lot of emails from people saying, like, I am battling with my mom because she thinks I'm never going to get any calcium anywhere if I don't drink milk.
Yeah.
Like, you know, other things have calcium in them.
I know.
There's a lot of vegetables that have more calcium in milk, and it's more bioreadily available. So it's so frustrating because it works. This indoctrination works, and it works well.
Yeah, it
Shows
does.
that people think that it's healthy, and it's not. Not at all. If you wonder why it's not, read the China study.
I agree. Not healthy, not good for you.
No.
But it's effective indoctrination. They wouldn't keep doing it.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. Anything else you want to say about that?
No.
Well, I've got one other thing I want to talk about. Soy is making our kids gay.
Did that play the whole thing? There was more to that than that noise.
There was another one. Soy is making our kids gay. Is that
There
better?
we go, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this article, we got this from a couple different people. I think I should give them all credit here. Let's see. We got one from Nathan, who has a blog at nathanforthe8th.blogspot.com. And we also got this one from Erin Grayson, who says she's a longtime listener, total devotee, and VFR promoter.
Nice.
As we hope all of you are. I saw something here, so she thought this was good. And she's going to save a list of things she wants to talk to about us for a stoned voicemail, but which we look very much forward to, Erin. Thank you. This is from WorldNet Daily, which, in case you don't know, is an outlet for right-wing propaganda, usually from the religious right. A lot of crazy stuff there, and this article is called "Soy is Making Kids Gay." Sorry, thought I'd add that too. Okay. Now, this is from Jim Rutz, R-U-T-Z, who also has a couple really strange books called Mega Shift, Igniting Spiritual Power, and The Meaning of Life. And he also is chairman of Mega Shift Ministries, which I tried to look up, but he was over his bandwidth allocation. So I guess the Lord did not will it this month that he should have enough money to provide enough bandwidth. I can't believe you'd be that popular, though, you know? Okay, well, anyway, James Rutz, Soy is Making Kids Gay. He says, I'll read the whole article to you because it's so good that you just have to hear the whole thing. There's a slow poison out there that's severely damaging our children and threatening to tear apart our culture. The ironic part is, it's a health food, one of our most popular. Now, I'm a health food guy, a fanatic who seldom allows anything into his kitchen unless it's organic. I state my bias here just so you'll know I'm not anti-health food. The dangerous food I'm speaking of is soy. Sorry. Soybean products are feminizing, and they're all over the place. You can hardly escape them anymore. I have nothing against an occasional soy snack. Soy is nutritious and contains lots of good things. Unfortunately, when you eat or drink a lot of soy stuff, you're also getting substantial quantities of estrogens. Estrogens are female hormones. If you're a woman, you're flooding your system with a substance it can't handle in surplus. If you're a man, you're suppressing your masculinity and stimulating your female side, physically and mentally. Sorry. In fetal development, the default is being female. All humans, even in old age, tend toward femininity. Sorry. The main thing that keeps men from diverging into the female pattern is testosterone, and testosterone is suppressed by an excess of estrogen. If you're a grown-up, you're already developed, and you're able to fight off some of the damaging effects of soy. Babies aren't so fortunate. Research is now showing that when you feed your baby soy formula, you're giving him or her the equivalent of 5 birth control pills a day. In italics. Sorry, just thought you had to be scared enough by it. A baby's endocrine system just can't cope with that kind of massive assault, so some damage is inevitable. At the extreme, the damage can be fatal. Soy is feminizing and commonly leads to a decrease in the size of the penis. Oh, that explains it. Sexual confusion. I did think about having sex with that man the other day. And homosexuality. What do you mean? That's why most of the medical, not socio-spiritual blame for today's rise in homosexuality must fall upon the rise in soy formula and other soy products. Most babies are bottle-fed during some part of their infancy, and 1/4 of them are getting soy milk. Homosexuals often argue that their homosexuality is inborn because, quote, I can't remember a time when I wasn't homosexual. No, homosexuality is always deviant. but now many of them can truthfully say that they can't remember a time when excess estrogen wasn't influencing them. Doctors used to hope soy would reduce hot flashes, prevent cancer and heart disease, and save millions in the third world from starvation. That was before they knew much about the long-term soy use. Now we know it's a classic example of a cure that's worse than the disease. For example, if your baby gets colic from cow's milk, do you switch him to soy milk? Don't even think about it. His phytoestrogen level will jump to 20 times normal. If he is a she, brace yourself for watching her reach menarche? Whatever. How do you say that?
I don't know how to pronounce it correctly.
Okay, me either. I'm sure someone will write in and tell me, some grammar Nazi out there. As young as 7, robbing her of years of childhood. If he is a boy, it's far worse. He may not reach puberty until much later than normal. That's why I reached puberty last week. I was always wondering when it would come. My body was going through some very odd changes. Why I was growing hair and I was more interested. Anyway, research in 2000 showed that a soy-based diet at any age can lead to a weak thyroid, which commonly produces heart problems and excess fat. Could this explain the dramatic increase in obesity today? Recent research on rats shows testicular atrophy. Oh, that's why my balls have shrunk. Infertility and uterus hypertrophy, enlargement. This helps explain the infertility epidemic and the sudden growth in fertility clinics. But alas, by the time a soy-damaged infant has grown to adulthood and wants to marry, it's too late to get fixed by a fertility clinic. Worse, there's now scientific evidence that estrogen ingredients in soy products may be boosting the rapidly rising increase of leukemia in children. In the latest year, we have numbers for new cases in the U.S. jumped 27%. In 1 year! Exclamation point. This is almost over, don't worry. There's also a serious connection between soy and cancer in adults, especially breast cancer. That's why the governments of Israel, the UK, France, and New Zealand are already cracking down hard on soy. In sad contrast, 60% of the refined foods in the U.S. supermarkets now contain soy. Where soy use may double in the next few years, last I heard. The out-of-touch Medicrats and the FDA hierarchy are considering allowing manufacturers of cereal, energy bars, fake milk, fake yogurt, etc. to claim that soy prevents cancer. It doesn't. P.S. Soy sauce is fine. Unlike soy milk, it's perfectly safe because it's fermented, which changes its molecular structure. Miso, natto, and tempeh are also okay, but avoid tofu. Anyway.
My
wow.
God, where do you start?
I what the fuck? I mean...
Yeah, of course, he says, scientific evidence shows, but of course...
He's afraid, yeah.
He doesn't show where this scientific evidence is coming from.
Well, and also, I mean, if scientific evidence is like... If you show this guy scientific evidence for evolution, he'd be like, you're crazy, you're going to hell!
Yeah.
But he'll accept scientific evidence, supposedly, quote-unquote, scientific evidence.
Yeah. That and the whole feminizing... I mean, okay, feminizing is bad.
Yeah, I mean...
It's so frustrating because, of course, it's very anti-woman, it's very anti-gay, it's just ridiculous.
It's wrong on every possible level.
It really is.
It's really wrong on every possible level.
Yep.
I mean, I think it speaks for itself in how wrong it is. I don't know if I have no idea about the medical effects of soy, and phytoestrogen and all that crap. I really don't know, but I'm willing to bet that it doesn't make people gay.
No.
No. I mean, okay. If his argument is that isn't it fairly standard knowledge and understanding about the population, the percentage of gay people? Pretty much 10% of every population across the entire Earth, everywhere,
is gay.
Right?
Yes.
If that were the case, wouldn't we have varying levels of gayness in different cultures that consume more soy? Like, wouldn't there be more gay Japanese people?
You would think.
Over time than there would be gay, I don't know, Middle Eastern folks where they don't have any soy access at all, for example. I'm assuming that, prior to the advent of, modern transportation technologies and things, right? We would assume that, historically speaking, Japanese people would be extremely fucking gay, right?
Right.
And everybody else in the world, they don't eat soy, they wouldn't be so gay, right? What the argument he makes is so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. I mean, there is definite scientific proof that eating meat can give you breast cancer.
Yep.
And we just mentioned that in an article about a couple of weeks ago. There is definite scientific proof that drinking milk as a kid increases the chance that you'll get type 1 diabetes and all sorts of other health problems. And it is meat and milk and all of the bad, nasty animal products that actually make you hit puberty sooner.
That's right.
It's actually better to hit puberty later.
And the other thing that I always had understood through courses I've taken in ecology and things like that through the years is that part of the problem with the gradual feminization of various animal species and humans has to do with herbicides in the environment.
It's all chemicals.
Right.
Yeah.
It's chemical herbicides in the environment that are mimicking some of these different functions of female hormones.
Yeah, and
so
these phytoestrogens do not mimic.
And they're
as far
extremely
as I
weak.
know, they do not mimic female estrogen.
And they're weak.
Yeah.
They're extremely weak. Even if they did, they're so weak that I can't imagine that, suddenly my testicles are going to shrink because I drink soy milk with my cereal and have tofu every so often.
Yeah.
It's fucking absurd.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, soy is seen as a feminine product. And I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, which would have been the subscriber cast, I think. So if you heard this before, then I apologize. But anyway, I've been reading a book, and I mentioned the book Mindless Eating, and it talks about why we eat, when we eat, how much we eat, what sort of triggers us to eat the things we do, and how we feel about it afterwards. And basically, he talks about how soy has an image problem, and because it's seen as feminine, it's not a masculine, meaty food, and so many men and women will stay away from it because of its image
Masculine,
alone.
meaty food.
Even if they eat it and you don't tell them it's soy and they love it, you tell them the same thing and it has soy in it and they will hate it. It's just ridiculous. It's frustrating. Yeah,
well, I don't know. It's guys like this that are trying to get us backwards into believing that the Earth is 5,000 years old and that humans ran around with dinosaurs.
yeah, and that all gay people are going to hell and
all gay people are going to hell, and so are any infidels who are married and don't have children, or who live together without being married.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I just wrote 3 little sixes on his forehead in the picture here. The big picture with Jim Rutz. I tried to find more by Jim Rutz out there, and I didn't look really hard, but man.
It would hurt your brain anyway.
It would. I can't believe this guy writes entire books. I mean, come on. I did find other things on this WorldNet Daily, though. Like, they had an interesting special feature about how to live through a nuclear blast.
Oh, great.
What you could do for the coming nuclear annihilation.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, nuclear. The coming nuclear annihilation. The nuclear annihilation.
But they'll be raptured first, so it doesn't matter, right?
Few moments, you can come up and pet the turkey if you want to.
That's right. I love George Bush. What am I going to do when he's no longer president? Who am I going to make fun of?
Internets.
The Republicans, the next president.
True. Once the Republicans have made sure that the next president is a Republican? Probably. I don't know. So, anyhow, moving on.
All right.
What are we going to do now?
Emails.
I can't play the theme.
You can't?
Nope.
It's not playing?
The thing's rebooting here. Oh, here we go.
All right.
You've got mail.
Okay, let's see here. Cialis? No, don't need that. Bigger bus size?
We haven't played this in a long time.
We have not.
Free iPod. Oh, it might do that. Oh, are you pleasing your woman? Well, you better ask her. Oh, well, what's this? Vegan Freak email? Vegan Freak email. Yes.
Okay.
All right, the first one is from Pamela. And she says, "Hi, I'm Jenna. I'm listening to podcast 54 right now," which was the last one we did.
Which was like eons ago.
Sorry about that. And the segment about kicking the cheese habit just ended. I wanted to weigh in on this issue because when I first went vegan, I was positive that I would never be able to give up cheese. I was the cheese queen. I loved cheese and ate it all the time. That should give you an idea where I was coming from. I think Bob's advice to just stop having cheese altogether and not look for substitutes is right on. In the first weeks and months of being vegan, you will miss those foods you used to love. It's normal. But you will concurrently learn about all the animal cruelty involved in producing those foods, and if you have any compassion whatsoever, you will begin to be disgusted by these very same foods. Nevertheless, you may still crave that cheese pizza or cheese and crackers and try to find substitutes that will satisfy that craving. Let me tell you, they don't exist. All the cheese substitutes I have tried taste like ass. Most of them do, yes. You will be really disappointed, and you will feel even worse about not being able to eat cheese than if you had not tried to substitute it in the first place. Eventually, as your palate changes, you can find some cheese substitutes that will work from melting on pizza, etc., and probably be I cannot talk. Probably be happy with those. But my suggestion is to wait until you are more accustomed and committed to being vegan before you try those. Just my 2 cents. Thanks for the great podcast, Bob and Jenna. Keep them coming. Pamela.
Cool. I agree.
Yes.
Completely.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. Yeah.
I think it's worth holding off on the fake cheese for a long time.
Yeah, because it'll be really gross when you first go vegan because you'll remember what real cheese tastes like. And they're not going to, like she said, they're not going to match up. But if you wait a while, they actually start tasting good.
They're okay. None of them are really good except for...
Cheesely.
except
Which
for Cheesely.
is supposedly coming to the U.S. next year.
Yeah, well, I'm not hopeful, but
yeah.
people
Well,
say.
apparently there's also this one, it's like Shrees or something like
Yeah.
that. Shree. It's from the U.K., and apparently now you can get it at Food Fight.
Yeah.
And so I haven't tried it yet. But
We need to go
some
somewhere.
people really like it, and some people don't. So
I like to try the things on occasion, but I don't like to have them around because they're usually almost all fat.
yeah, they're really not good for you.
And
anyway.
I try to watch my girlish figure. Because, my testicles are shrinking and my boobs are getting larger. So I'm thinking I can take advantage of this.
Yeah,
I
man.
can attract some different people. And, now that for me, all that soy, now that I am interested in men, I like the attention I'm getting when my shrunken testicles, my small penis, and my very large breasts. I like when men start looking at me. Oh, yes. And if you could see me now, I am caressing my breasts.
He is too.
I'm holding them. Yeah, I feel sexy.
Okay, good.
It's getting a little hot in here. Just take off all your clothes.
Actually, after that, we should play the first voicemail because it goes thematically with that.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Bob and Jenna. This is Crystal. About 2 weeks ago, I took you up on your challenge, and I tried to figure out why I am not a vegan. And I was addicted to the cheese, and, all the same excuses. It's too hard. It's frustrating. And, I just sat there and I said, you know what? This is bullshit. I'm just making excuses. So I am now proud to say through the last 2 weeks and struggling with this and that and crazy ingredients and getting pissed off, I am a vegan for 2 days.
Yay!
And I've also subscribed to your podcast.
Yay!
I want that damn button so I can wear it with pride. And I've also ordered your book so I can be a smart vegan. Because I hate it when people ask me, they're like, why don't you eat cheese? It doesn't hurt the animal. I'm like, well, yes, it does. It hurts the animal, this and that. You guys know all the reasons. But I just wanted to call and say I have been converted. I have bought into it. I'm in that vegan, driving it every day. Proud, telling everyone about it. And screw them if they don't like it. I don't care because I like it.
Good.
So I hope you're happy because I know I am. And thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for your help and everyone out there who is not a vegan yet. You can do it. Cheese is nasty. Just look at it as if it were a cow because that's what it is. You're eating a cow. It's just like beef. Stop eating it. It's nasty. It's bad for you. Thanks, guys. And have a great holiday. See ya. Look forward to all the future podcasts. Thanks.
Thanks, Crystal.
Yes, excellent.
I'm glad you went vegan.
I am too, and I'm glad you're happy.
And congratulations. It's a big step to take at first.
It is.
It seems like it is. But after a while, it just becomes automatic.
It does. Once you learn to read the ingredients and you learn what is vegan, what isn't, and what to avoid, and you go through that, the first couple weeks are frustrating, I have to admit, because
They can be.
you pick up a thing in the grocery store and you're like, you want to throw it at the wall because it has casein in it or whey or something.
What's really frustrating is it has a long list of ingredients.
Yeah.
First off, it has a long list of ingredients. You should just put it down anyway.
This is true.
Right? I mean, if it has like 400 ingredients in it, you should just be like, you know what? I probably shouldn't be eating something with beta tocopherol fucking fuckerace or whatever it is in it. I shouldn't be eating it. You should just put it down because it's bad for you.
Yep.
But on the other hand, it's frustrating when, let's say you do want something that has a million ingredients in it. On occasion, I do want some junk food. You get through this massive list of ingredients down there in the frozen aisle, for example. And then the last thing is like milk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck!
Oh, I love the ones that I have in bold afterwards. Contains a milk ingredient.
Well, now they actually do have to say that.
Yeah.
So
But not all things have that yet.
It's getting there. I think there's a US, in the US at least, there's USDA law, I think, that says that it now has to label allergens like milk and nuts. Mm-hmm. But you can still have eggs. It's not
Yeah,
good,
I know. So you got to look out for the eggs.
But yeah.
But I'm glad you're happy because, one of the things that frustrates me is that people have this image of vegans as being these militant, unhappy, grumpy people who go around barking at everyone, and it's just not true. Most of us are happy.
What's our show? I mean, aren't we militant, grumpy, and barking at people?
We are, but but we're also happy about it.
Yeah,
we're happy while we're doing it.
No, I am. I agree with you, though. I think that, living well is good. It is really the best revenge. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it.
It really is.
And, she raised a really good point, too, with the whole drinking milk is actually like a cow. I mean, I would argue that it's actually like a calf. I mean, more than anything. It's like, it's more like a veal calf. So, that old adage that I think I heard first from Eric Marcus a long time ago was like, there's a little bit of veal in every glass of milk, right? Which is true. Because you have to do something with those calves when they're born. And people don't think, but cows have to be pregnant in order to give milk. It's like no one thinks about these things, but there it is.
Yep.
So good job, Crystal. And if you need any help, let us know. We're all here to help you. Also, one other thing I want to talk about really quickly is that, there's always some stuff when people tell us they're going vegan, they sometimes say that they have a hard time. For example, with things like the smell of pizza or, the various kinds of things that they see. And I would like to encourage them. If they get in that position where they feel like, they see something and it looks really good to them, but they know ethically that it's not really what they want to be doing with their lives, go and look at some resources online, and that'll talk you out of it real fast. Go ahead.
Yeah, go watch Meat Your Meat.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Go watch Earthlings.
Yeah, that too.
You never watched it. What are you talking about?
Well, I am already converted, so that would just puts undue stress on me, and I can't handle it.
But I watch those things and I get pissed off, and then it makes me want to do more, and it reminds me why I keep doing things like the radio show and all that stuff.
That's true. I have an easier time reading about things because I read about things and then it affects me still, but yet I can still like put it down and be like, okay, I can process it more easily. I think
Earthlings is uber hardcore.
Yeah, so
it is.
It just makes me bawl. And
it's a great film, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll change your mind about a lot of things. So, pretty intense stuff. Okay, what else?
More emails. Here.
Am I reading this one?
Yes.
Okay. This is from Krita. I hope I say your name right. Sorry if I didn't. Thanks for the great show. Here's another former vegetarian who's gone vegan because of you.
Yay.
Yay! Oh, I don't have any more yays in here. I cut it out. Oh, anyway. First, I have a story for all the cheese addicts out there. This is like a cheese addict show. I went vegan in the beginning of January, but knowing that I'd beat myself over every unintentional slip up, I decided to call it just preferring vegan stuff in the beginning to make it less overwhelming. So after 3 weeks of eating vegan with no slip ups, our university restaurant has a day with nothing vegan to eat, and I'm really hungry. I decided to go for the vegetarian option, cheese soup. Oh, God. I'd eaten the same soup before, but at that time, it tasted so incredibly awful. There are no words to describe. After that, I made the truly life-altering decision to never eat anything again. To never again eat anything that I knew was not vegan. She has it in big bold letters. Not vegan. So, cheese addicts, do what Bob and Jen are saying. Give your body those 3 weeks. You and the other animals will both be happier. Second, I have a question. My dad used to be a vegetarian, but has since gone back to eating fish and hunted animals. Most of the time when I eat at my parents' house, he offers me some meat he's eating, saying idiotic things like, "Ooh, look how well the colors of your veggies and salmon go together." Or, "But this is a happy elk, so it's okay to eat it," which really make me sick. While I do agree that hunted animals most likely had a better quality of life than factory farm ones, in the end, they're still killed and used, which is what matters to me. How do I get my dad to understand that I will not validate his choice and do not find his comments to be funny? I really don't want to spend Christmas dinner. Oops, we're a little late. I really don't want to spend Christmas dinner with him extolling the virtues of eating wood grouse or whatever animals he's decided to, quote, invite for dinner this time. Keep up the great work and the profanity, Krita. Fuck yeah, Krita. Well, it's tough. I mean, your dad is a former vegetarian, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really tough. You may never get your dad to see the world the way you do. But if you take him aside and perhaps say to him, "Look, Dad, I know that you think this is funny, and I know you're having a good time, and this is your life, but it bothers me when you do X, Y, or Z." You could use I statements, like from therapy or whatever, right? Right. I feel bothered when you... Rather than attacking him directly, you could tell him that you feel hurt or bothered or upset when he does these things, and to you, it's not a joke.
Right. It's not just a passing phase. It's something that you take very seriously. And I think if you sit down and explain it to him, I mean, some people respond really well to that kind of thing. People respond well to other things. And I think I actually emailed Karita back and asked her, like, what kind of things would her dad respond most to? And she said he deals a lot better with snappy one-liners than she does, because he says them all the time. But at the same time, that won't get across the point that she's very serious about this,
Sure.
and it hurts when he does it. So,
But then again, the snappy one-liners actually could, if you ignored those things, it could be easier, because then all the snappy one-liners lose their power. Mm-hmm. Like the snappy one-liners, if no one laughs at them, it's just like, oh yeah, well, whatever. And then usually people give up. Mm-hmm. So there are a couple ways to go depending on the person.
Yeah, but I think you just need to, like Bob was saying, just need to sit him down and maybe even show him a website or two, since he was a vegetarian before, and that, explain him, your philosophy is that animals are not ours to use or hit, kill, hunt, etc. And that, they might have been happy animals running around in the woods, but by killing them, you made them quite unhappy.
That's true.
They'd be a lot happier if they were still running around the woods.
Alive.
Uh-huh. And that humans can get along completely well and even better by not eating meat. So, you okay?
Agreed.
Okay. You have a funny look in your face.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'll tell everybody out there now. There's that popping noise again. What the fuck? What finger is this called?
Index.
My index finger. The pad of the top of my index finger is really itchy. And I don't know, does this mean I've had my index finger in bad places or something?
I don't know. Or have you been sticking your fingers?
It's really itchy and it's like bothering me. I don't know why it's so itchy.
Is it dry?
I don't know. It's just itchy. It's itchy. Am I masturbating too much? What is it? What the hell? I don't. My palms aren't itchy. It's just the tip of my finger.
I don't know. Maybe you're picking your nose too much. I don't know.
No. You know what it could be from?
What?
I was doing plumbing yesterday, and I got.
Oh, you had that stuff.
I got some caulk on my finger.
That might explain it.
I had some caulk on my finger. Oh, that is exactly what I was caulking. Mm-hmm. And I ran my finger to like for those of you that have done caulking, to spread the bead out. Mm-hmm. I ran my finger along the line. And that's exactly, if I do that right now on the table, and I drag, that's exactly where it itches. Mm-hmm. So there, I'm having an allergic reaction to some kind of horrible chemical that was in the caulk.
Yay! Great.
It's not like I left it on my fingers for a long time. I washed them.
You washed your fingers? I don't know.
Smell my finger.
No thanks.
Why not?
But anyway, that email reminds me of something I wanted to say. Moving along.
Yeah, away from my stinky fingers.
Even though a lot of you probably won't hear this until after Christmas, we just wanted to remind people to stay strong, be vegan, don't give in.
No, don't give in.
Don't eat meat just to make people happy. And a reminder that, the holidays are some of the worst times for vegans, and not because, for some people it's because things look tempting.
Yeah.
For some people, not to me. For some people, it's a horrible time because it's one of the few times a year that you're actually around meat.
Some people.
And for us, because we don't ever go around meat because we live, we're two vegans living together.
That's right.
So we never see it. But on the holidays, we have to go and sit at a table with it. And so for some people, that's difficult. And for other people, it's difficult because you're around family. And, some family, you only see it ever at Christmas.
Right.
And that, of course, they're going to give you a hard time.
And they're trying to shove it down your throat.
Mm-hmm.
Here, try it. Don't you just want some? Look, I'm eating dead animal. So,
yeah.
Yep. It's pretty funny, though. We saw my uncle last weekend, and he's like, I'm going to be careful what I say. I don't want to end up in your next book. For those of you who've read our book, it was UB. So, yep.
And he says, I don't know why you thought I didn't like your cookies. For those of you who remember that story that I told after last Christmas. Well, and I was like, well, because you kept making fun of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's why I would think that. Anyway.
With my itchy index finger, I'm going to turn the page.
Okay.
What is our next email?
This one's from Elena?
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
We probably fucked it up.
Alaina.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm so glad that I found you guys. I've been vegetarian since I was 17, so for about 8 years, but I've lately been thinking about going vegan. I was sort of uneasy about making the transition. A month ago, I did a search on Amazon and found your book. Later, I found out you had a podcast. I started the podcast from the beginning and have been working my way to the most recent one. I would say that I listen to about 2 per day. I'm a data entry nerd, so I have to listen to something so I don't go insane. I love you guys. I live in Ann Arbor, Michigan, which makes it really easy to make the transition. We have a great vegan/vegetarian community, mostly dirty hippies and punks, so I'm grateful for that. The thing that's keeping me from going vegan at the moment is my favorite Indian dish called palak paneer, which I eat a lot. It's slow-cooked spinach with cheese cubes. I know that there are a lot of Indian dishes that are vegan. So I was wondering if you could recommend any good vegan Indian dishes or a vegan Indian cookbook that I could buy. I think that would help me out a lot. Anyway, you two rock. You're really giving me the strength and motivation to go vegan. Keep the podcast coming.
Okay. First off, one thing, I used to like that dish too before I went vegan, before I become one of them vegans. One thing you can do though, and I know a lot of Indian purists out there will probably go, "Oh my God, no!" I think for something like that, you could use small cubes of tofu.
Yeah, it's got the same texture.
It's the same texture, almost the same taste, as I recall. And something where it isn't, where paneer isn't just the only ingredient in the whole thing.
Yeah, right.
I think you could really get away with that. Honestly.
Yeah.
And
actually, a lot of Indian dishes are vegan, like you said, but a lot of them are close to vegan. Like they appear vegan on the surface, but they're made with ghee, which is clarified butter. So you can ask the Indian places to make your dishes without ghee, and they'll use oil. Or there's stuff called dalda, which is like
we should get Dino on the show
ghee.
to talk about this.
Yeah, we really should.
Because Dino's cookbook, which is coming out February 14th, newly pushed back date, Dino's cookbook deals with a lot of these questions about vegan Indian food, and he has a lot of vegan Indian recipes in it. That's
true. And I was going to say, there aren't, as far as I know, there aren't any vegan Indian cookbooks because a lot of them are vegetarian.
Yeah.
And Dino's is the only one that I know that is heavily influenced by the Indian cooking. It's not all Indian. It's got other things too. Oh my God. Assholes.
Wow. Yeah, that's one downside to the nice weather, though.
Yep.
It's been nice here.
It's been warm. It's been bizarre. Doesn't feel like Christmas.
Okay, but anyway.
What was I saying? Oh, Indian cookbooks. So look out for Dino's cookbook when it comes out.
But I have recommendations anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
The book I would like to recommend to you, this is an Indian book that we do a lot of cooking out of, actually, is called Lord Krishna's Cuisine, The Art of Indian Vegetarian Cooking. It's a hardcover book. It costs $30 on corporate fucking whoremasters Amazon. $40 everywhere else, probably. But it is an excellent book. I recommend it highly. It has hundreds of recipes in it.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's hardcover, and it's great. And every recipe, almost every recipe in there can be veganized. I mean, we use it, and we veganize like a shitload of the recipes out of it.
Yeah, when it calls for ghee, we use either
sesame oil.
Margarine or sesame oil. Usually sesame oil.
Not toasted sesame oil, though. Just regular sesame oil, untoasted.
Right, not the East Asian kind of sesame oil.
And actually, the recipes in this book are really quite solid. There's another one here being recommended to me by the smart little recommendation troll at Amazon, which says Dakshin, vegetarian cuisines from South India. I have no idea if this one's any good. I'll probably order it, though. So this one apparently has very good reviews as well. Based on 51 reviews, 4.5 stars. That's better than our book.
So yeah, a lot of Indian food will have the ghee, or some calls for yogurt. You can use soy yogurt. Some calls for cream occasionally, but rarely.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do it. Just veganize it.
I think that book's a good one to pick.
Yeah, it's a lot of good recipes in there.
I think so. So I like that book a lot, actually, and we use that fairly often. This email, I think we should save this one because it's quite long.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sure.
It's from someone named Abeth, and she is a English teacher in Portugal. So she has a lot of interesting things. But what I think it's so long. I think I just want to save it for the next show.
Okay.
Because I want to give it the time that it's due.
Okay.
So why don't we put that one off until next show? So we'll get to yours next week, Abeth. Okay. This one is from someone named Nimbus. And Nimbus says, "Help, I cannot stand the smell of roasting flesh every single night," all caps, "from the fucking carnivore who lives downstairs. I'm going insane. I cannot burn enough incense or open enough windows. The smell saturates every room in my apartment. Please help me." I have... Yeah, I mean, it's a really tough... There's really... I don't know what to do. I mean,
because you can't really go ask them to not do it because they're going to be like, fuck you.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not something a landlord would even get on your side for because...
Not at all.
I mean, I understand that it's horrible and that it smells really bad, but I don't know what to do about it. I mean, you could try to talk to them, but I suspect most people aren't going to be into that.
Not at all.
I wish I had something. If anyone out there has any advice or suggestions, let me know.
Yeah. We used to live next door to someone who cooked gross shit every night, and we just ended up moving. So luckily, that solved that problem.
We did?
In Ithaca, our neighbors used to cook like bacon, something that smelled like bacon
yeah, that was
every single day. It was foul.
That was horrible.
And
It wasn't just bacon, though. It was like...
no, it was like, I don't know, it was
but
nasty.
No, it was like boiled meat.
Yeah, it smelled nasty.
It was horrible. It smelled really... Now that you remind me, it smelled
Sorry.
really
Well,
bad.
you just got to cook stuff that stinks, too.
Yeah, we used to try to cook the stinkiest possible things we could with garlic and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, cook a lot of garlic, cook a lot of cabbage.
oh, cabbage, that's a good one.
Cabbage stinks.
Cook broccoli, cook a bunch of sulfuric vegetables. But seriously, if anyone out there has any suggestions about how to deal with that, let us know, because I have no idea.
Or good air fresheners, I don't know.
I really don't know. I mean, if you live above somebody and they're cooking, it's gonna work its way up.
Yeah.
You know, there's really no way around that. I don't know how to deal with that. I wish I had some suggestions. Moving may be the thing to do. Mm-hmm. As much as I hate to tell someone that they should just pack up and move, but they should maybe think about packing up and moving if it's really that bad all the time. Okay, so back to the stupid emails.
Okay.
Which I was starting to talk about earlier. Where are we? Okay, so we've got one from Matt Stojkovic. Stojkovic, probably, huh? Yeah?
Something like that.
Someone else out there can tell me. This is one we occasionally get really dumb emails, and this is one of them. My brother-in-law is a freak. I vegan. I'm reading it exactly as he wrote it. He makes me laugh with his sanctimonious, holier-than-thou approach to food. Thank God for you freaks. More steak for me. Whenever I need a good laugh, I think of you pathetic liberal vegans.
Well, I'm glad we can provide humor for somebody.
What the hell? Like, okay. Let me read the next one. And then
okay.
This one is from someone. His email is randythefreak@yahoo.com. By the way, if you want to get in touch with Matt Stojkovic, he is Matt, MATT STOJKOVIC Drop him a line. Tell him, say hi to him. Be sanctimonious. This one is from someone, which is probably not a real name, randythefreak@yahoo.com. His message is, vegans suck. Meat for the win! ! What the hell? What I want to know... Well, here's what I don't understand, okay? What kind of person is sitting in their mom's basement, beating their meat, trolling around the internet, that decides to go on to some website like ours and send in messages like that? What is behind that? What kind of idiocy is there? Like, I don't go to Christian websites and send them emails being like, haha, you believe in a mysterious sky being. I don't do that. Like, what... I don't go to like meat websites and then send them letters like, send them emails telling them meat's stupid. I don't do that. Like, what? Why would they bother? What is the point?
I have no idea.
How pathetic could your life possibly be where you're going to do that? That's what I don't get.
I don't know. I'll never understand that at all. Just don't get it. I think, oh my God, after receiving these emails, I'm just wrong. I'm going to eat meat now.
I know, like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, like, I don't get it. Like, I really don't understand. Well, I wouldn't waste my time. I guess that's what it comes down to for me. Is like, I think things are stupid in the world, but I would not waste my time telling people how dumb I think they are.
No, it's worthless.
It's
a
worthless.
waste of your time.
It's like I don't get it. I just don't understand why people. I mean, it's entertaining. I look at these and I laugh. You get annoyed. I think they're funny. Jenna gets really upset about these. They bother her. Which is what they want. They want.
I know. I've been getting better at it though. I see them and I just delete them immediately.
There's some vegan out there that they're pissed off at, and they're using you as kind of a, vegan that they can think they can annoy because they can't annoy the one in their life.
I know.
This guy, he clearly doesn't have the balls to go tell his brother-in-law, I fucking hate you and I wish you would just get out of my face. No, he has to go and send an email on some website.
He probably does that too.
I don't think he does.
No.
Come on. Someone like this?
Probably. Yeah, who knows?
Someone should send him an email and ask him.
Yeah.
Dear Matt, do you not have the guts to go tell your brother-in-law how much he sucks?
Well, you don't want to inflict that on his poor brother-in-law.
It wouldn't be his brother. Oh, well, yeah, I guess. Huh.
Because then he'd start bothering him.
Wouldn't it be funny if the brother-in-law of Matt Stojkovic listened to the show?
Yes.
That would be awesome. Maybe that's how Matt knows who we are. Maybe he's heard his brother listening to the radio show and found us. And
actually, I think probably some of these come from places like Podcast Alley.
Oh, good point.
So,
or just if you Google vegan, we're in there somewhere.
Yeah,
so. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to do voicemails?
We have one.
Voicemail. Voicemail?
Time once again for some vegan freak voicemail. Maybe we'll hear from a hot chick.
Or a choice nail.
Callers make us happy and help us keep our sanity, even if all they wanna do is fucking complain about the shitload of profanity.
Hi, vegan freaks. It's Quagga again. I have an update on my veg co-op goes carnivore story. As you know, I had some issues about whether or not to attend a board of directors meeting a while ago that I called about. But I decided to attend after all, just to be a witness for the animals and to speak up on their behalf in a fight like hell against the cozy omnivore shelter that is known as Happy Humane Meat. So anyway, last Monday I attended the board of directors meeting, where my aim was to shape the meat policy implementation because they hadn't made any final decisions on it. I crafted up a letter to the board requesting that, quote, management refrain from promotion or outreach that labels its meat products as humane or that uses any other term that implies the same, end quote. And then my letter continued saying that, quote, farmers and ranchers themselves agree that there is no such thing as humane slaughter, as no healthy animal wants to die. However, it is clear that the store will receive meat products that purport to be humanely raised because this kind of labeling is a powerful marketing tool, end quote. In the end, I specifically requested that the board create and post signage that stated the following or its equivalent, and here's my sign. Notice to customers, Chico Natural Foods cannot verify the humane production or slaughter practices claimed by the producers of the animal products sold here. Concerned customers are encouraged to contact Farm Sanctuary or vegchico.com for more information. End of sign. And guess what? The board supported it. The general manager supported it. They all nodded their heads, and they thought that it was in keeping with the mission of the store. And someone made a motion to ask the general manager to post the signage as noted. Someone else seconded, and they all voted yes. Yay. And they thanked me for my time and for producing such an acceptable notice. And I thank them for doing the right thing. So in the end, it was a very good night, and I learned that it pays not to burn your bridges and to hang in there. Of course, I'm still angry as hell that the CNF is carrying meat, but I'm glad that they're not trying to hide behind Happy Meat. I'm pretty sure that this kind of signage is precedent-setting as far as co-ops go, but I'd love to have input from your listeners or on your forum about it.
Great idea.
Yeah, and the voicemail got cut off, and I don't think she called back, so that's where it ended.
Well, but we got the whole story. In case those of you don't remember, she called, about a month ago?
A while ago, yeah.
Or more, about 4 or 5 shows ago, I guess. It'd be way more than a month ago.
It was like October or something.
Yeah, so in October, perhaps, and she was talking about how her co-op had been meat-free all these years, but then was going to start introducing humane meat, and how they did eventually introduce it. But this is actually good because it puts in a little moment of doubt, right? You know, we can't really verify that this is humanely produced meat, and for the kind of people that care about that, it might be that little moment of you know, wow, wait, maybe I need to think about this.
Right.
So that's cool.
And that mentions the slaughter, you know, is great. Because,
absolutely.
Yeah, maybe it'll keep some people from not buying it. Hopefully,
but that's a good tactic too because it's almost like a warning label.
It is,
you know.
Yeah,
and I like that. I think if our co-op ever goes more into the meat, you know, going that direction, I'm going to push for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now that I'm on the board, I can pretty much be a little harder on stuff. I think.
Yeah.
But I know. I think our co-op's good in that way, but I think she raised a good point, you know, is like, if they're going to do it, you might as well at least have this kind of signage and warning up. Yeah,
and congratulations on that, because you really stuck in there, you really made your point well, I think, and showed them that, look, if you're going to do this, at least, you know, because you didn't seem to really have much choice in the matter, because your board voted for it, but, right. So if you're going to do that, at least show them that it's not all what it's made out to be. Sorry.
That's right.
Like,
well, no, the whole happy meat thing. I mean, you know, it needs to be debunked. It needs to be, it needs to be shown to be what it is, which is a lie.
Yes.
So, good stuff.
All right.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
I think we're done too. So anyway, that's it for this week. What?
I was just waiting for the song to come on. That's all.
I'm getting there. I got to get quicker with the soundboard. I got too many things going on at once. Anyway. Get in touch with us about asshats and angels. We would love to hear from you about who you think is an asshat and who you think is an angel. And we want to talk about it on the show. You can do a voicemail with that if you want. You can send us an email. You can do things like that. You can call us at 267-295-1944.
Email podcast@veganfreak.com.
And our website is podcast.veganfreak.com, which was redesigned several months ago. But we forgot to really say anything about it.
Yeah.
But I like the redesign a lot.
I do too.
So anyway, you should pop over there. Always good stuff going on. And that's it for this week. If you've got interesting articles that you think we should talk about on the show, send them to us at podcast@veganfreak.com. We love to hear from people. We get behind on what's going on in the news because we are busy and stuff like that. So we don't always catch up on all the good things like soy is making kids gay and things things of that nature. So we'd love to hear from you and be in touch with us.
All right. Thanks for listening, as always.
And for those of you that are celebrating Giftmas or Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or...
that's about it.
Am I missing anything?
No. That's about all that's going on right now.
What Muslims, what do they celebrate this time of year? Eid?
No, Ramadan, but that was earlier.
Oh, Ramadan. When's Eid?
I don't know.
Beats me. Anyway, I'm not a religious guy, so I apologize if I've offended anyone by misplacing their holiday. In any case, be in touch with us. Talk to you later.
Bye.
In a few moments, you can come up and pet the turkey if you want to.